The dangers of being too comfortable. Now, this may sound a little strange at first. Comfort, isn't that a good thing? It is, but there's too much sometimes. Or better yet, how we handle comfort can be very dangerous. So, first thing, we get really comfortable, we start getting fear adverse. We stop doing the things that got us comfortable in the first place. And the danger of that is, let's say, in your job, if you stop progressing, stop growing, other people will inevitably pass you. And that may not necessarily sound like too bad of a thing, but at some point, other people will push you out. And corporations like people that grow, not people that stay stagnant. So when you stop growing, when you become complacent, the fear of losing what you have, then you start dying in that terms of the corporation, or in terms of your business, or in terms of your relationship. Comfort is the danger of progress, because when we become too comfortable, we start having fear around losing what we have, and thereby losing it, which is kind of the irony. And then there's complacency. We could just become like, oh, this is good enough. Is it? Because when we're happy, right? We're happy because we're growing, we're happy because we're serving, and we're happy because we have good connections with other people. So when we become complacent, we stop feeding those things, we stop giving, we stop building ourselves. And yeah, the risk, and it will fail. Yeah, absolutely. Comfort and boredom and depression generally follow those things of fear of losing, fear of complacency. And the third thing is the belief that it can't get any better. And this is the real danger one. And it's kind of a subtle one, because when we think, oh, we've reached our max, we stop doing everything. We stop feeding ourselves. We stop working out. We stop learning. We stop growing. We stop dreaming. And without these things, we just die a little bit inside. Like you mentioned, depression. So if you feel stuck, take a step back and look. Are you being complacent? Are you fearing losing what you currently have? Are you believing that you have hit whatever the best that you can do? And I will let you know a little secret. You have not hit the best you can do. We are almost limitless beings. We have the potential to grow into things that we never could comprehend if you're willing to put the time and effort into it. And that's the trick. That's the danger of being too comfortable. And yes, we do die eventually. And if we don't risk, we're dying now. And I think that's something to kind of balance the scales of fear a little bit. One of the things that I love, since you had mentioned dying, is this thing. This is a chart from the number of weeks to the number of years. This is an average human lifespan. I found this on weightbutwhy.com. And this is the average human lifespan. The red is where I am right now. So I'm a little bit less than halfway. It gives that shock value of where you are in your lifspan. And then so you can kind of have that sense of urgency to push through those topics of, oh, I just don't want to do it today. Well, today may be your last day. So if it's important to you, get up and go do it. Or as Jocko Willink would talk about, get back on the path and just do it. You have to have the discipline. Discipline is the freedom that is provided as a reward later down the road. Because if you don't put in the work, you never actually get to the freedom. Like savings. When you're retiring, you have to have money in the bank. But if you don't put a little bit over time, then you get to the end and you don't have anything. You have no freedom. And you have to be 95 and working to pay the bills rather than being 95 and doing whatever it is you want to do at that point in your life. And that's the really kind of crux. We get complacent and then we just stop. We're like, this is the goodest it's ever going to get. And that is such a lie. The world has so much more to offer. You have so much more potential than you even thought possible. So get out there and dream. Dream big. One of my favorites, kind of broken record sometimes, but Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. If you actually implement and not just read, do, not just talk, your life will change. And these comforts, TV, internet, access to all this amazing information has made us lazy because we think we're gaining by doing knowledge, but knowledge is potential power, not actual power. You have to combine knowledge with action before you get anything. And that's the trap of our educational system. We think by gaining knowledge, taking a test, we've won the game. And you may get a piece of paper for it. But unless you actually take and do something with it, there's nothing gained from it. You actually have to go and do. And doing is part of the fun. It's this like learning process that's almost kind of like a game. You get hit it by an obstacle and you're like, oh, well, that's interesting. How do I solve that? And you keep building on it. And the other thing to remember is happiness and fulfillment come from three main things: gratitude of the things that you currently have, growth, personal development, growing to become a better leader, a better father, a better husband, or whatever it is that you're growing into be, and serving others, right? If you want to become rich, give more value than you take, and you will be wealthier beyond your wildest imagination. And you got to keep moving, got to keep growing. Absolutely. So create that sense of appreciation in your life. And remember, you've never reached your potential. Some people say we are given the greatest potential, and our gift back is trying to meet that potential. So I'll leave you guys there for today. If you have any questions, comments, feel free to reach out to me. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. And if you need help with any of this, feel free to send me a message. I'd be happy to work with you, and see you guys tomorrow.